Okay, ladies and gentlemen, things have really started to get spiced up. They've gotten juicy, and potentially for the good reasons, potentially for some really bad reasons, but for all of you that do not know or did not have any idea, Elon Musk says he just started a new party, right? The American Party, and there's some beautiful and some negative parts about this. It's the second part of this, right? He said that the American Party will embrace Bitcoin because fiat is hopeless. Looking a little bit below it, the American Party is the solution to what? Well, somebody basically said being a centrist is now considered a radical, batshit crazy idea. How did we get here? That was a response to that. And somebody asked, hey, will the American Party embrace Bitcoin though? And Elon said, yup, because fiat is hopeless. Now, I am usually a big advocate of whenever somebody says it. Whenever somebody says it, I'm like, yeah, there you go, buddy. Because fiat kind of seems hopeless indeed. But when a person like Elon Musk says that, to some extent, I feel kind of worrisome. Why? Well, because if you really start thinking about it, stocks, for the most part, like the whole S&P, is based mostly on the American economy. I know it's world economy, sure, but it's still denominated in the US dollar. If the US dollar were to do something really crazy, a lot of that system will not work the way it has always worked. And that's kind of scary because a lot of the crypto market moves to some extent with the traditional stocks, traditional stock market. But I'm more so worried about if he says fiat is screwed. This is stocks aside. What would that mean for the country in a different sense? In the sense of what is the US going to do then if all those currencies won't work no more? I mean, we all know the world reserve currency changes on median year time, 95 years. It's already been that. So from that angle, yeah, we are due for replacement, but with what? The euro? But can't really do it. China, all these coins, all these currencies really, they're not really fit for the job just quite yet. Maybe they'll get to it in the next 5-10 years. Who knows? Right now, So is crypto then the solution? But really, when you start thinking about it, one, it gives me FOMO. It makes me realize I have a lot of crypto, sure, but I need more. Because if this is really the truth, then whatever you're cashing out right now, all your Bitcoin you're cashing out into something that eventually will become kind of worthless. I'm not saying it will go into hyperinflation route. It could mostly be a matter of it'll still have a lot of value, but it will be just used less and less and less. And eventually the denomination will shift as well, where nobody cares about the dollar value no more. Again, this traditionally has taken a lot of time, but you also got to understand that with the rapid pace of AI, the rapid pace of technology, these things can happen pretty much in the blink of an eye, where 1 year everything is great, and all of a sudden you're 5 years away from the most radical shift ever, just like how 5 years ago, nobody talked about AI in the forms that they are right now. Now I can't think of any person who does not get involved with AI almost every single day of their life. I'm not saying they work in it, I'm saying they see it, right? They see either an AI video, an AI voice, or something along the lines of AI. I'm not talking about Google's backend that uses a lot of AI or something like that. I'm talking about a little more of a direct form. And probably in 5 years from now, it is everywhere, right? So you see how quickly things have changed in 10 years. And there's a beautiful saying, I think it comes from Bill Gates, that says people tend to overestimate what they can do in 1 year, underestimate what they can do or achieve or get done in 10. And I really think about it from that angle now as well, thinking of where our cryptos would be in 10 years from now. That is like 3 entire crypto cycles. Talking about crypto cycles, 𝗫𝗁𝗫𝗁 here had some interesting words. He said, feel it in my flippers that we see Bitcoin at an all-time high this week. The market, especially ETH and BTC, both have a lot of tailwinds so far, barring anything unexpected. I love that last sentence, right? Barring anything unexpected, mostly meaning if, for example, another wave of rockets were to hit. But I want you to keep in the back end that Bitcoin did actually close its weekly highest candle ever. Just last night, all right? Depending on where you are, for me, it is actually the proper time. But depending on where you are, right, it might have been some hours ago, it might have been just now, it might have been yesterday, I don't even know, right, what time zone y'all are in. But it does make me realize we've been moving up slowly, step by step, but ultimately we have been moving up. And if you look at it from a multi-year perspective, really, it's only been up and up and up. It's only when you look on the short term that things were kind of bad. And it makes me realize, if you just shut the frick up and you buy those coins and you just don't complain, you don't think about it too much, it's really quite hard to lose. And I sometimes look back and think, how do people actually lose money on crypto? The only way I can think of is they bought altcoins once, the 2021 peak, and never bought again. But if you did, just buy twice, just one more time, a little bit closer towards the bottom, man, you'd be up a ton. But specifically, if a little bit of your portfolio was Bitcoin, or, in a few months from now, most likely any altcoin as well. Anyway, getting back to politics. Oh, this is long from over, by the way. This is going to be everywhere, and I believe our cryptocurrency market will also move based on whatever happens in this feud. President Trump posted a massive paragraph on Elon Musk. Trump says he is saddened to watch Elon Musk go completely off the rails, essentially becoming a train wreck over the past month or so. Trump adds that third political parties have never succeeded in the US, but I counter that by saying he's the richest person in the world that we know of, and he's done a lot in the past couple of months. He might have a shot. Now, I'm not saying he'll win. I'm saying he might have a shot, especially because he owns X, and he's got a pretty wide spread. I mean, like I said, I'm not saying he'll win, but he has a shot for sure. I'm not saying he actually aims to win. It could just be that he has some ideas that he likes to put forward, and they now will get seen by hundreds upon hundreds of millions of people. We don't know what his end goal is here, right? We really don't know, but at least for our crypto coins, things look good, because they've been quite positive about that. But really, in terms of politics and in terms of tariffs, everything, things are so interesting right now. Trump threatens a 10% tariff on any country, backing anti-American BRICS policies with no exceptions. But trust me when I say, this is a commentary account right here. Trust me when I say the next couple of months for politics are going to be a really big roller coaster ride. And almost every single time the politics become a big deal, we see it in the crypto markets. And one good example could be the tariffs, right? At the end of the day, it's all world politics. And tariffs, well, we've only got, 2 days left or so before a major shift in that is also going to happen. A lot of people have forgotten about it, but it's coming. U.S. Treasury Secretary 𝗵𝗫 says about 100 countries will get a minimum 10% reciprocal tariff. On July 9th, President Trump's 90-day tariff pause will officially expire. I'm going to be looking out for that as well, because we've just got a few days left, 48 hours or something like that, and all of a sudden, this can hit the market. Maybe all of a sudden, some countries are going to get some massive number we could have never imagined, and it just puts everything in a conundrum. Man, it's funny to watch this market. I'm so happy that we get to watch this craziness every single day. Why? Because I've got my bots running every way. And whenever the market does some crazy flippity-floppeting, luckily they're printing us profit every single time the market goes down. So that is of course nice. And on the opposite side, I also have got my trades open over on Blowfin. So in case the market does move the way we expect, we're also benefiting from that. Again, if you're wondering, I've got links for all that down below. Payonix for the bots, or a little bit below that, we've got Blowfin for just my normal trading. Because right now, you can make a lot of money based on the volatility. So if the market does something crazy based on either Musk, Trump, or whatever, mostly you can guess that we're going to be getting ourselves a nice little cut, right? And that means crypto's going down. You know what's funny? If throughout time you've bought every single time XRP went down a good chunk, Bitcoin down a good chunk, you always end up doing well. All right. Right now, as we get closer towards the end of the year, there's a higher and higher likelihood that the next major pump is going to be the pump breaking us through. And so I keep saying, and I've said this 100 times already, but I'll say it again one more time. It is not worth it to not be allocated. You might want to wait for a dip. There's millions of people saying, maybe, right? At least thousands of people saying, a bigger dip will come. We will crash. Wait. Whenever I look at the comments, people always say, wait. But I'm telling you right now, is it really worth it to wait and then potentially miss the opportunity of the craziest surge we've ever seen in mankind history? I don't think so. That's why I'm pretty deep right now. I'm going for it all the way because I don't want to take the risk of not being in. And that's about it. Right? There's so much in politics going on. This is going to ruck up our freaking coins. Left, right, up, down. But ultimately, my bots will be doing the automatic hard work. But for the most part, all we're looking for is there a massive crash happening? Okay, is there a really big chance this crash is going to cascade into something really, really bad? If the answer is no, we buy hard? If the answer is yes or maybe, well, it depends. If the US dollar is going to fall, on the short term, really bad for our coins. Over the longer term, amazing for our coins. So act accordingly. Almost any one of these political inconsistencies or issues ultimately are bullish for our coins. Think about it like that and you'll be successful, is my own personal opinion. Not financial advice, but that's about it.